we created this device called a double helix conductor. And if we're going to try to work with the natural world, then let's have an electromagnetic field that nature would use. So in this case, a double helix, DNA. So the idea was that we were going to take these musical notes and musical frequencies and plug them through this device and see if we could have any effect on matter. So one of the things we want to do is heal people faster. We want to increase protein synthesis. So at the time, we were in California. And as it turns out, when you're in California and you want to grow plants, there's a number of companies that are very interested in accelerating the growth rate of plants. It's very easy to work with these companies and do experiments. So that's what we did. If I could do a Bill Clinton impersonation now, I never smoked, never inhaled, or however that goes. That was terrible. That was more like Trump. That wasn't Clinton. All right, I'm not going to do a Trump impression, honey, don't worry. So this is what we did. We had our control group. They kind of look like Christmas trees. And we have our treatment group. And you can see right away what we found was that exposing these plants to these energy fields increased the rate of protein synthesis. This is extremely important. And we can see if we look at this and treat an entire column of plants, we can get this effect. So commercially, this has a value. Now, of course, we want to apply this to human beings. So we did this work at the National University of Ireland in Galway, and we worked with the Regenerative Medicine Institute, Dr. Tim O'Brien. And this was an experiment that we did with rabbits. So these rabbits had diabetic ulcerations. We applied this field, and right away, we found that we could accelerate the rate of repair in this open wound using this technology. So this was the first evidence that we had, that there was a way that you could, without any stem cells injections, without any drugs, just using energy, you could accelerate the way that people would heal. So our focus now, of course, we went through many years of selling X39 and doing multiple studies on X39, showing how it activates stem cells and improves healing. Now our goal is a little bit different. We're still interested in accelerating the rate at which people heal, but now what we want to look at is, can we apply these techniques to longevity? Can we stop the human aging process? Can we keep people younger longer? How are we going to do this? And are there any examples in nature? So one of the things that we did is we take a biomimetic view, meaning we want to look to nature and see if we can copy nature and create new technology. So one of the examples that we used were temnothorax ants. Temnothorax ants, they get infected with a parasite, and as a result, it alters their gene expression, so they overexpress cytochrome C oxidase, and as a result, mitochondrial function gets upregulated. They end up producing more ATP. And in the process, they live 5 to 6 times longer than normal. So could we apply this technology? So here was the control group. We took a gel and a growth media that's used for cultivating ants, and we populated the media with ants. So they went to work producing tunnels. Then we took our treatment group and we exposed them to this energy field. And that's what happened. So we were able to show that we could take a mechanical device and transfer energy from that device over to a living system where it would increase the energy in the ant, and the ant could end up doing more useful work. So this is very key, because what we know from other experiments is that if you can increase the amount of energy that's available in a living system, gene expression changes to a more youthful state. So, what does this have to do with human beings? Well, this is a link now, and a missing piece in longevity. As people age, the amount of energy in their cells decline, mitochondrial dysfunction. So if we can have a technology that can reverse that, we can, at minimum, keep people younger longer. The next model that we went to was working with lobsters. And as it turned out, the technology that you're going to see today is based off of how lobsters completely defy the aging process. Now, I have another confession to make. When we first built this equipment in our lab, I have a lot of really talented engineers that I work with, and we were setting all of this up and going through all these trials, and we got the first drops of this new water coming out of the machine. I said, I've done it. I've created lobster water. And so I was telling Meredith about this, and I was talking to Wayne about this. And I said, guys, this is incredible. We have this new technology. I call it lobster water. It's going to revolutionize health. And Meredith said, question, is it too late to change the name? Needless to say, your product will not be called lobster water. But it is the key to bringing light into the body.